6 rules high-value women love. What if one of the biggest things that attracts women has nothing to do with looks, money, or clever conversation? Most men assume attraction comes from having the perfect body, the nicest car, or the right words at the right time. But the reality is very different. One of the strongest attraction triggers is something far less obvious, and that is boundaries. Strong, confident, and unapologetic boundaries. The problem is that most men are never taught how to develop them. Many believe boundaries push women away, when in fact, they often do the opposite. Of course, this is not about pretending to be dominant or playing mind games. It is about genuine masculine boundaries that come from self-respect, purpose, and a clear sense of identity. In this video, we are going to explore 6 powerful boundaries that naturally spark attraction in women on a deeper level. Not through pressure or control, but through confidence and presence. These are not tactics designed to manipulate. They are expressions of clarity. And when a man consistently lives by them, women notice. They feel the difference. They respect it. And they often respond to it in ways many men never expect. Make sure you stay until boundary number 6 because it does more than protect your personal power. It completely changes the way she views you and, even more surprisingly, the way she sees herself when she is around you. So with that said, let's get started. Boundary number 1 is the power of being unavailable. Your time belongs to you, and that is one of the strongest boundaries you can ever establish. At first, this idea can feel uncomfortable. You do not immediately answer every text she sends. You do not drop everything the moment she calls. You do not rearrange your entire life just because she suddenly wants your attention. Naturally, your mind starts questioning it. What if she loses interest? What if she thinks I do not care? What if she finds someone else who is more available? Surprisingly, the opposite is often true. When you are not constantly available, you communicate something important without saying a word. You show that your time matters. You show that your life already has purpose, momentum, and direction. She begins to see that she is stepping into a life that already has meaning. That small amount of uncertainty about where she fits into your world creates curiosity. And curiosity is powerful. Constant availability often sends a different message. It suggests that nothing else in your life demands your attention. People naturally value things that are not always within reach. The same principle applies here. When a man becomes less accessible because he is focused on his own goals and responsibilities, he becomes more attractive. He does not chase. He creates space for attraction to grow naturally because his life already has value outside of the relationship. Think about your own experience. Have you ever made yourself too available only to watch someone slowly become less interested? If that sounds familiar, this single adjustment could completely change the way your dating life unfolds. Boundary number 2 is learning to say no without feeling guilty. This one boundary alone can transform how people see you. Here is something many men overlook. The way you say no is often more important than how often you say yes. Imagine she invites you somewhere, but it conflicts with your schedule or simply does not fit your priorities. You know you want to decline, but you worry about disappointing her. So instead of giving a clear answer, you start over-explaining. You apologize repeatedly. You promise to make it up somehow. Before long, your boundary barely sounds like a boundary at all. And whether she realizes it consciously or not, she notices. Now compare that to a simple response. You tell her that you cannot make it, wish her a great time, and suggest catching up another day. It is respectful, direct, and confident. There is no nervousness, no guilt, and no need for permission. You simply own your decision. A man who can say no calmly and respectfully sends a powerful message. He trusts his own judgment. In a world filled with people constantly seeking approval, that kind of confidence stands out. Boundary number 3 is addressing disrespect the moment it appears. Many people imagine disrespect as something obvious and dramatic, but most of the time it is much more subtle. It can show up as an eye roll while you are speaking, a sarcastic remark about your work, a dismissive comment in front of other people, or a joke that crosses the line just enough to leave a mark. Most men ignore these moments. They convince themselves it is harmless. They tell themselves they are being easygoing. But there is an important truth many fail to see. Ignoring repeated disrespect does not make you relaxed. It makes you invisible. Not to everyone else, but to the person doing it. Whether she realizes it consciously or not, she is paying attention to how you respond when your standards are tested. If you refuse to stand up for yourself, it becomes difficult for her to see you as someone who values himself. This does not mean becoming angry or starting an argument. It means remaining calm and composed while making your position clear. A simple statement such as, "I do not appreciate being spoken to that way," is often enough. It is direct, confident, and controlled. That one sentence can communicate more strength than endless attempts to impress her. It shows that you have standards. It shows that you value yourself. It shows that respect is not optional in your presence. And here is the interesting part. When a woman sees that a man respects himself enough to calmly protect his boundaries, she often feels more secure around him. Rather than creating distance, it can increase respect and attraction because she recognizes that he is grounded, self-aware, and unwilling to compromise his self-worth. Have you ever ignored something that bothered you and then felt uneasy about it afterward? If that sounds familiar, drop the word frame in the comments, because those small moments often reveal more than people realize. Boundary number 4 is staying calm under pressure and leading instead of reacting. Here is something that separates a confident man from the majority of others. A woman will often test your emotional stability before she ever trusts your emotional depth. And many men fail that test almost immediately. It usually starts with a playful tease, a sarcastic comment, or a bold remark designed to see how you respond. Most guys become defensive, try to explain themselves, get irritated, or completely shut down. And what message does that send? It suggests insecurity. It tells her he is easily affected and uncertain of himself. But the man who stays composed hears the comment, takes a moment, smiles, and responds with something playful like, "That's interesting. Do you always test people this quickly?" Changes the entire dynamic. Emotional control is not about becoming cold or distant. It is about staying grounded in who you are. When a woman realizes she cannot easily shake your confidence, she relaxes. She respects you more. And somewhere in the back of her mind, she begins to wonder what other areas of life you are equally steady in. That curiosity creates attraction, because while other men are trying to pass her tests, you are calmly changing the rules of the interaction. Boundary number 5 is mastering the power of silence. Do not over-explain. Just make your decision. One habit many men have without noticing is explaining far too much. They try to soften every choice, avoid every possibility of disappointment, and justify every action. They send long messages to make a simple point because they fear being misunderstood. The problem is that excessive explanations often communicate uncertainty rather than confidence. Consider a common example. A man says, "I can't make it tonight. Work has been exhausting. I've had a stressful week, and I really need some time to recharge. I hope that's okay. Sorry again." Now compare that to, "I can't make it tonight, but let's catch up later this week." The difference is obvious. One man is defending his decision, the other is simply standing behind it. Real confidence is concise. It does not wander in circles searching for approval. It does not wrap every decision in layers of reassurance. It simply communicates and moves forward. So remember this principle: say less and mean more. Let your actions and presence carry the message. A man who speaks clearly and then becomes comfortable with silence often appears far stronger than the man who keeps trying to convince everyone to understand him. She does not need endless explanations. What matters is the confidence behind your words. Let that sink in. Attraction is rarely about finding the perfect thing to say. More often, it is about carrying yourself with certainty. Bonus boundary number 6 is the mystery principle. Protect your full story and avoid revealing everything too quickly. This is something that many dating discussions completely overlook. Women are often more intrigued by men who reveal information gradually than by men who share everything at once. In a world dominated by non-stop texting, social media updates, and instant emotional disclosures, many men reveal far too much, far too soon. They share every painful experience, every financial detail, and every chapter of their life before a real connection has even formed. The result is that all mystery disappears. And mystery is powerful because it naturally creates curiosity. A confident man does not feel the need to put every detail on display immediately. He allows the connection to unfold over time. He lets her discover things naturally. He gives her space to ask questions and become genuinely interested. Holding back some parts of your story is not about being secretive. It is about being intentional. When your words come from certainty rather than a need for approval, they carry more weight. And when she senses that confidence, you gain more than attention. You gain respect. Boundary number 6 is the mission-first mindset. This is the principle that changes everything. Here it is. A woman should become part of your journey, not replace it. Think about that for a moment. Many men, including intelligent and driven men, lose sight of themselves when they enter a relationship. They rearrange their priorities, abandon important goals, and make every decision around keeping a woman happy. At first, she may appreciate the attention, but over time, something changes. She begins to feel like she has become your entire purpose. Your focus is no longer on your growth, your goals, or your mission. It is centered entirely on her. And when that happens, attraction often fades. The reality is that most women do not want to be the sole focus of a man's life. They want to join a life that already has direction. They are drawn to men who have goals, momentum, and purpose. They want to be part of a journey that is moving forward with or without them. When a man has that kind of focus, he becomes the center of gravity. The relationship naturally forms around a life that already has meaning. And that difference is often what separates a man she casually dates from a man she continues thinking about long after he leaves the room. So ask yourself an important question. What are you building? What mission drives your life? And do your daily actions reflect that purpose? Because when a man wakes up every day focused on something meaningful, protects his attention, and commits himself to a larger vision, he rarely feels the need to chase anyone. People naturally become attracted to his direction. Bonus boundary number 7 is the no fixing rule. Do not rush to solve her emotions. Learn to hold space instead. This is a trap that many caring and well-intentioned men fall into. A woman is upset, frustrated, or emotional, and immediately he starts offering solutions. He says things like, "Don't worry about it," "You're overthinking it," or "Here's what you should do." His intentions are good, but that is not always what she needs in that moment. What she often hears is, "Your feelings are a problem that needs to be fixed." A grounded man understands the difference. He does not immediately try to repair every emotion she experiences. Instead, he stays present. He listens carefully. He remains calm and attentive without interrupting or rushing toward a solution. A man who can sit beside a woman during an emotional moment without panicking, avoiding it, or telling her how she should feel becomes someone she deeply trusts. He becomes a source of stability, not because he solved every problem, but because he stayed present when it mattered most.